Okay, I know I'm a couple days late, but World Cup story time. The year was 2010. I was young, innocent, and living in northern India. The World Cup final had rolled around and it was going to be showing at something like 2 a.m. India time. I didn't have a TV, much less cable, and pretty much no one had Wi-Fi. And to make matters worse, I was in a small town, so most of the restaurants and bars and everything were closed by midnight. In fact, most were closed by 9. I also happened to live next door to a very traditional Tibetan Buddhist monastery. So I go to visit one of my friends who runs a restaurant, and I'm like, hey, do you know anyone who's going to be up late and showing the final? And he looks at me and goes, you haven't heard? And I said, heard what? The monks have demanded to watch the final. Any of you who've seen the movie The Cup, this was like the unofficial sequel. I'm like, you're kidding, right? Because the gate of the monastery closes not long after sunset, especially to women. He's like, no, this is not a joke. So I wake up at like 1:30, convinced that I'm being an idiot, sneak out of my apartment. Sneak out because there's like a locked gate. Make my way over to the monastery where, lo and behold, the gate is open. I come inside. There's well over 100 young monks filling out the courtyard. There's about 50 or so lay people. I am the only foreigner. There's a truck attached to a generator, attached to a projector. There's a projector screen. And there's packs of young monks who had apparently spent the entire previous day cleaning out every local shop of snack food, which they were now scalping at a premium. We're talking like they had giant garbage bags full of mini bags of chips that they were selling for like $7 a bag because they knew nothing else was open. On the one hand, I was like, y'all are monks. On the other hand, I was like, y'all are 15 years old and very resourceful. Well done. Anyway, and the game, Netherlands versus Spain, ends its initial period in a tie. So it goes into extra time. And then second extra time. We are rapidly approaching 5 a.m. Finally, in that second extra time period, Spain scores. We lose our collective shit. It is at this point that the good monks who had been trying to sleep and who wake up at 5:30, which is to say something like 30 minutes later, stick their heads out of the balcony and yell at us to shut up. But we were having so much fun, and to be frank, there were actually several of the really important monks out there watching with us, so we kind of won anyway. Anyway, that was how I spent the World Cup final at a Buddhist monastery in the middle of the night with a whole bunch of monks, including many of whom were scalping snack food. The end.